hope that because of this production, and because Super Summer Theater has positioned themselves next year with a season that
a very good season. And one of the more modern seasons.
But can I just say that they put the musical, in the September slot, and I think that's smart. I hope by this production fleshing out the way it is and situating themselves with that next year, I think Super Summer Theater, I hope they maybe are taking a look at maybe being a little bit more welcoming to a broader scope. Now, I'm all for Super Summer Theater being family friendly. I think that's very important that we have that in the Valley.
It's a picnic. They have to bring
I
family.
think so. Yeah. But I also think that it's important to explore what's out there that may not be, because I'm gonna say something mighty bold here. How these things get picked and how they're run and how the whole Super Summer thing is run is based on the ideologies and philosophies of a board. And I want the board to also educate themselves a little bit as far as the shows that they're bringing to the stage as well. And I think the producers is hugging the line of what they would normally bring to Super Summer Theater.
I think it's beyond anything they've ever done.
And I think that by putting it in the September slot, that's great, because that is traditionally in the past been the more older demographic, less family friendly, and school's back in session, so it's harder to have kids out on a Wednesday or Thursday. But if you look at the shows next summer, you've got the very classical, The Music Man being the first show, and I think How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying is the next. And that's actually progressing forward in time, because then it goes Legally Blonde and The Producers. So, the shows are going from very family friendly, a little less family friendly, to edgy.
Here's the F-bomb. And
I wonder how they're going to handle it. But I also think here's the thing. I'm going to leave it at that. I just think that in today's day in the Las Vegas theater scene, when everyone's dying for a venue, you know what I mean? Everybody wants to do theater. There's not enough theater to do in the city because everybody wants to do theater so badly. Everybody wants to direct. Everybody wants to be on stage. I'm a big believer. It's just like the weather in Michigan. If you don't like the weather, wait a day. It'll change. Yeah. Same with Vegas. If this show you can't audition for because you're already doing something, wait a day. There's going to be another audition. It's going to happen.
That's so good to remember, too.
It really is. But the thing is, we're all struggling because we don't have enough venues, and the economy is structured the way it is. The venues that are out there, everybody wants it at a price that's so unreasonable. It's unapproachable. So it's kind of like, I think Super Summer Theater has, in my opinion, one of the prime real estate venues in the city, and I'm going to lump that in with the Smith Center even, because that's approachable, it's doable, it's family friendly. They have a structured season every summer. It's got a board of many people who are wanting it to succeed.
Very, very, very many.
Yeah, and so it's kind of like, it's one of those things where I hope they see this as an opportunity to capitalize on this amazing demand that we have. And I think they are. I think they are.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%. And I think the fact that the board is growing, the attendance is growing, the risks are coming just a little bit more. The whole thing is following this sort of natural progression to me. And I grew up out there, to me, doing different shows. This is actually my 10th show doing out at the ranch.
You were in Oliver, that was your first one?
No, Joseph was my first one.
You just said that. How old were you?
10.
10 years old.
So, yeah, I was kids choir at the time. But, I could still fit in the kids choir.
Jamie's little.
I'm a small
Jamie's on a booster seat.
That's true. I'm on a booster seat right now, yeah, totally.
Terrence looks.
Just checking.
No, but I have this special place in my heart when as soon as I go out there, I'm like overwhelmed with this nostalgia as well as this just homey feeling. And I go to other venues and I don't necessarily not feel that, but it's a very structured theatrical feeling. And I think that this meadow is just a unique environment to showcase all these different things.
Yes.
And I think it's actually led to the expansion of theater in the Las Vegas Valley because it's so reliable, it's so unique, and it's just everybody wants a piece of that.
And it's structured. Every summer you know they're going to do it. Every summer you know the timeline of how they're going to do it. And they have things put in place. Now, of course, there's people.
You already have your next summer planned.
I don't know, but I do know that there's a lot of people who are very, very quick, and patrons and actors that perform there, and everybody alike. I'm just going to broaden it to everybody. There's everybody who's very quick to point the finger at Super Summer Theater and their volunteers and say, "Wow, this needs to be different." Well, this needs to be different. But here's the thing: you have to understand that it is a very, very unique venue and a very unique structure. And they have a lot of volunteers. And volunteers are great, but they're volunteers. They're there doing it because they love to do it. And you can only squeeze blood from a stone.
Are you referring to the actors that are volunteering, or are you referring to I'm talking about the
orange-vested volunteers,
okay.
And so it's kind of like, here's what I want to do. I want to just turn the attention to Super Summer Theater for a second and say, as far as an organization, treating it like a business for a second here, they're doing a very, very big service for the city. And I know that there's always rumor mills floating about what's in store for Super Summer Theater in the 5 to 10 year plan, and how is the Smith Center is going to do, what's it going to do to Super Summer Theater, and the theater companies that are closing and opening, and where is their venue going to be here, and I don't know. But I argue that Super Summer Theater is a landmark. And it is something that the city can rely on.
What would it, 37 years?
Gosh, something like that. And I'm looking forward to the next 37 more. And so, there's a lot that I would love to see.
Yeah, they're doing the producers again.
Yeah.
Gosh, I wish they'd modernize that piece of...
Yeah, so and Jamie can do Joseph for like the 8th time.
Yeah.
She'll set it like Tron.
Yeah.
And then I'll be Joseph this time.
Yes! Brilliant.
But I always say, it's just like any show.
Well, my idea was pro wrestlers.
Yeah.
No, okay, you got to explain this. Glenn had this dream the other night, and he shared it with the cast about how he dreamt that the whole cast of Joseph,
all the brothers were pro wrestlers,
WWF wrestlers, and we're like
set up Joseph in Thunderdome.
He's asking me if I can build a cage around the set.
Big cage match.
And I don't know. I'm still. You think I still want to be the Undertaker? Because
I would love to say I'm with you, but I'm lacking some vision on that. I think.
Well, it was a dream. It just,
But see,
any dream will do.
But
we need
you may not be into wrestling, Jamie, but I'm just saying for everybody else, watching you jump off the turnbuckles onto somebody would be hysterical.
Okay, speaking of which,
you just jump and they catch you and be
like one of the midgets that totally body slams somebody.
Your physical comedy is amazing to watch. I love watching the way that you use your lack of height like I use my excessive height to be funny, because it's funny and you go for it, and it's so fun to watch. And I was thinking about your resume. Like, in the last 2 years that you and I have become good friends, you've gone from Oompa Loompa to homeless lesbian to now roadie brother.
Wait. It's a natural transition.
Back up. Yeah. Back that up.
Rent.
Homeless.
Well, I was in Rent. I was Mark's mom as well as a lesbian chick.
She wasn't homeless, was she?
I was homeless.
So you bring typecast?
Okay, well let's go back even more a few years.
Let's go to your resume.
I was one of the boys and one of the sisters in the same show, and the only thing that split it up was being a slave during Big River. So that was just in the same show. It was weird. I played Oliver in Oliver a long time ago.
So you're a little boy.
So I did the boy thing. I played, just following Oliver, I played Annie in Annie. And so it was,
That's an accomplishment.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Very few, if any, can claim I did Oliver.
No. All the stars that have played Oliver
I played Oliver as
naturally
Annie.
Transitioned to Oompa Loompa.
Naturally, afterwards. Oompa Loompa just comes next.
Well, actually playing Oliver, then I can see the gender confusion. So playing a lesbian after playing Oliver and Annie, not knowing which orphan you need to be.
Oompa Loompas are genderless.
You played homeless, so totally typecast.
I'm totally typecast.
You are like the least typecast person I know.
Except for the size thing.
And the homeless thing.
All of it, the size thing works
it
out.
work.
So I'm totally excited about the fact that I am a little person.
For those listening, she has T-Rex arms right now. She just reached for her water and couldn't reach it.
We need to take a break. If you're just now tuning in,
Yeah, we do.
this is Curtain Call with Erik Ball. We are talking with Jamie Woodard and Terrence Williams with the cast of Joseph, the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
The Lollipop Guild. The Lollipop Guild.
Or the Lullaby League, depending.
Or the Lullaby.
During the break, hit up Facebook and like our page, Curtain Call with Erik Ball. Please like it. Our number is 221-SAVE. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
I just couldn't join in the conversation. And I know this is on camera, it's fine, but about the board and Super Summer.
You can't.
I think as much as I hope you're right, I think it's not. I think their board is
Overloaded.
too set on old shows.
Oh, I agree with you.
The board, the committee that picked the producers did not share with the rest of them what the producers is. When that show goes up, they will all revolt. They will all
be
say,
there.
you cannot do this here.
Yeah.
You got to stop doing shows like this. And the next year, it'll be back to carousel. That's just, this is my 7th year, 8 shows. I've watched
I
them
was
take the
surprised
shows for too long.
I was surprised they picked the producers.
Yeah.
Very surprised.
I mean, I'm happy they picked it, but I will also guarantee you it will be censored. Even if it's less family friendly, there's no way they're going to do it as written.
No, there is some. Joe's already had to go through and figure out.
Will Roger Debris show up in a dress? Absolutely, I'm sure he will. That's no big deal.
Will
We've
Hitler
done
be
worse.
visible?
Yes.
I don't know.
Hard to say.
I don't know this show, but I want to.
Oh,
this would be fabulous.
It's a great
I thought it was
show.
dudes.
No.
There's a whole,
There's
whole
great stuff.
troop of course girls.
There's great
and
stuff for tall women.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jamie.
Oh yeah.
Just saying. There's some
okay.
great
Whatever.
parts.
You like that tall.
But
We
my
were able to
my
live
gut
together,
feeling,
so I
and
don't-
this is what I wanted, I would like almost grabbed it. I was like, just back off, which is the same thing we're talking about. Patrons getting older and needing to be replaced with young blood. Their board needs the same thing, and I'm not wishing that they die off.
No,
but they need younger board
Giving
members to
shows
come
new
in
blood is
and-
going to get young people to the
and
theater.
revitalize. I mean, the theater company's 37 years old. They have board members who've been on the board that long. You know,
I agree
they
with
need
you.
I
more.
agree with you too.
They have maybe one board member a year, ish. So they don't keep up with it. They need people like you. They need people like they need, theater thinkers.
Yeah,
on the board.
but most of the theater thinkers in town would not want to be in that current board.
Agreed. But if you
wouldn't
brought
wanna
in
be
a
on that
group
board.
of them,
Yeah, I think that there's an
I would with
opportunity
other
for
people, I
mutiny
wouldn't by myself.
in the near future, actually, in the next 3 years, because
I don't know if
they'll
it's
celebrate
mutiny.
their
I think that they don't
a hostile
realize what they
not at all. Not at all.
You don't think they do?
That they really wait. Sorry.
You think they realize what they put in place with producers? I don't think they have an
No,
idea.
no way. No way.
I think just now they're going, oh my
Christy
gosh,
does.
what do we do?
Yeah, exactly.
Chris does.
Christy does, and actually
But Christy
she's
likes a lot of modern shows and would push for them under the right
She's
circumstances.
actually
But-
more liberal.
No, I agree, and she's maybe one of the best people to have on the board.
well, and the fact that she has that little, advisory committee or whatever, I think that that's going to end up being, at some point, that's where I'm talking about mutiny. I think that at some point that's going to be the push
Mutiny or
over.
coup?
Well, I think some of their board
Hostile
members
takeover.
will leave and say, "This isn't what we signed up for. You turned this thing to trash. We're leaving." And other people will say, "No, this is good stuff." But those people leaving is not a bad thing because it means there's room for growth.
I'm still surprised that,
I mean,
who's out
if I
there
could
liked
show you,
this version of
actually I
Joseph.
could show you. If I could show you the nasty email I got from Dan Stegman the night before we opened about how I have destroyed Joseph. He's their oldest board member, and he wrote me a personal 2-page email about how terrible the show was. A, you should never be sending a director that the day before they open a show. I don't need to read that. I didn't need to read that ever, let alone going into opening night. But they like hostile about it. I sent it to Christy Miller. I said, if I never see an email like this the day before I open a show, it'll be teaching like it's just
That's
bullshit.
not cool. That's not cool.
And I apologize for futzing with my phone. Since you were talking about Broadway, I've been texting Andrew Duran, who's the lead in the course, to see if I can get him to call in.
Oh.
But he's
I'm on
like,
stage, bro.
No, he is on stage right now. So I'm like, what are you doing right after the show? Do you have like 2 minutes to like
30 seconds, 30 seconds.
We'll see. We'll see.
It's okay. Jamie's bio is much longer, so we can go into that for another time.
No, I'm sorry. I need to not hog the show.
I love it.
Show hog.
I know.
Jonathan
I'm
should be
doing
coming by.
Sorry?
Okay.
I'm not going to talk for the next bit.
That's not true.
I'm gonna change the subject and then we'll go back into it. Troy asked me to shout out for summer camp, so remind me later.
Oh, they've got an hour to get there.
Can't take over
Apparently, it's an 8 p.m. Sunday show, not a matinee.
Correct.
Oh.
Maggie Wheeler, Janice from TV's Friends, and oh my God, you're listening to
You gotta love Maggie Wheeler. You gotta love it. We're here with Jamie Woodard and Terrence Williams, director and actress in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat out at the Super Summer Theater Ranch. You can catch them us as well. Glenn and I are all of us except Carrie Ann. But she's gonna go back and see it, so you may catch her too.
So sit next to me and we will share a hot dog. Actually, I won't share, but you can get your own.
She'll be all the way front of the meadow on a blanket on the house right.
Go and check out Super Summer Theater this weekend, Wednesday through Saturday, and the following weekend, Wednesday through Saturday. For tickets, go to supersummertheater.org, or you can also go to Showtix for You. It's SHOWTIX, the number 4, the letter U.com. And you can get your tickets ahead of time. They're $12 in advance, $20 at the door. Call us at 221-SAVE. Talk to us about what you think about what we're talking about. And then we'll give you 2 tickets to Joseph for free, which is the best price of all free theater. I want to mention something completely off topic. I would be remiss not to bring up the fact that over the week Marvin Hamlisch passed away.
Yeah.
And a great American theater composer, songwriter. And I felt I didn't know what to do about it, because he talk about a pioneer and a staple in contemporary American theater.
And he was still fairly young.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, this is kind of fun. He was working on the musical The Nutty Professor, a musical stage adaptation of the story that is now, gosh, I don't remember what theater it is, but they were workshopping it. With plans on going to Broadway next year. And it's unfortunate because he was very intimately involved in that workshopping process, as he always is, and came down with some sort of illness that was every day and then turned into something bigger, and then unfortunately passed away last Monday. And I figured maybe the best thing that I could do is maybe just kind of share a quick story, and it's not even really very funny. Or interesting. It's just a story.
Well, it's going to be better than a moment of silence.
Yeah, I suppose.
You came up with a story that's not interesting nor funny.
Well,
but you're going to share it.
It's a true story. It's a true story.
Oh.
My only kind of interaction or association with anything Marvin Hamlisch had a hand in, and that was when I was in the production of The Chorus Line. And anybody who knows me knows I am not necessarily a dancer. I can dance if you give me a whole lot of time and a lot of patience.
And not a lot of turns.
Yeah, I'm a mover more than a dancer. And so to be cast in A Chorus Line fresh into college was, for one, shocking to me. And 2, I got cast, ironically, as Larry the choreographer and in the show. So I didn't have to do all the dancing that the roles did on stage. But there was that moment at the beginning where he shows them what the dance is.
Step, kick, kick, touch.
Again,
I know it. Yeah.
And you have to do it all by yourself, showing them what it has to be done like perfectly before they do it.
I wish you could see Terrence doing that right now.
Oh yeah, and they placed it in the 70s. So here I am, a sophomore in college.
Wait, 70s. So what was your costume?
Purple leg warmers. That's all I gotta say. And I'm dead. And what's funny is that I'm dead serious. And I remember, talk about, for one, if you've never seen Chorus Line, the movie's okay. I didn't care for the movies so much. It was more centered around the fact that they got, what's his name,
Michael
to play
Douglas.
the director. Yeah, I mean, it's not. It should be a story that focuses on the the auditioning characters.
I did like the part with when Glenn Close boiled the rabbit, though. I thought that was
wrong movie. Hit the bell.
I'm just so puzzled.
Yeah.
There's our moment of silence, friends.
I just wanted to add a little bit to this Marvin Hamlisch story.
There it is. But I wanted to tell you how Marvin Hamlisch's story and his songwriting kind of really, I don't know, because this is a show that I was completely uncomfortable with. Completely out of what I thought was my element, because it's more dance than singing than acting, in my opinion. And I was so uncomfortable and out of place, and I went to every rehearsal, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and I worked. And there's something very, very magical about the music in that show. That's why I think the show is very successful, is because the music in that show is it's like a heartbeat. It's like a pulse.
It's
moves.
its own character.
Like
Yeah.
what songs are in the show?
Like the very beginning, the God, I hope I get it. I hope I get it. How many people does he need? How many people does he need? You know, all these. It's like pulses and moves.
And even the slow songs, What I Did for Love.
Oh yeah,
it's all beautiful.
It's very, very. It's almost haunting. And the I remember at one point. Talking to myself on the drive home, just going, I'm never going to get this. I'm never. And I was thinking to myself,
As you're singing the song.
no, I was just going to say, I felt like a character in the show.
But you were.
But
The wrong one.
I'm trying to be serious, Glenn. Anyways, I felt very much like a character.
I can't let you do that.
And-
I'm sorry, Dave.
Wow.
And anyways, so I told myself I was under scholarship at a school at the time, so I thought I have to do it. So so I turned around the next day, went to rehearsal, and I really worked hard, and I promised myself, and this is the first time I recall ever doing this with the show. I have done it several times since. Promised myself to trust the story, trust the music, trust the director, trust that it's going to propel me forward, even if I struggle. Trust that it will create something that will lend to the storytelling. But I remember that being the very first time my kind of personal journey taking a turn and trusting the story and the music and in the hands of the director and seeing it through. I literally lost 15 pounds during that show because I worked and I sweated through everything I had every single day. And I trusted in my fellow castmates, and they really worked with me. All these very experienced dancers. And then opening night, I remember my now wife, who I was dating at the time, she came, and afterwards I went out in the lobby, and she was just crying, and she had flowers and stuff. And I was like, when she goes, I was worried about you because I know you're not a dancer. And when I saw you do that, it was just like, wow, you really can dance. And I was like, I really can't. but I trusted that I could, and there's something very magical about that show, and I would argue about every show that he's written. There's a personal kind of tragedy that kind of propels you to kind of connect with the human experience in everything he writes. And so I just, in looking back at the life of Marvin Hamlish, my own personal experience, that chorus line I still hold very dear in my heart. Not, it's a theater production just like every other one, and they come and go, and they're part of your the fabric of your life. But other than that, thank you. Other than that, what it does for you, it taught me how to trust the material. It taught me how to trust the music and trust the direction, and to. It's kind of like...
I think I do that with every show. I mean, because I don't dance at all yet, I consistently love doing musical theater. Mm-hmm. And I keep putting myself in those, what am I doing here? And I've told you, Erik, and Terrence, I won't do a show if I don't feel I can trust the production and the story and most importantly, the director, because if you go into any show going, I don't like this guy, I don't trust him, then what are you doing there? Because you're already putting yourself in a position to fail when you don't give the process the opportunity to succeed.
Well, you got to be part of the equation of that.
Oh, absolutely, and you are, and you are.
And trust in your own ability.
If you're oil and water with the director, I mean, it's going to be very hard to mix it up.
Unless it's a salad.
Unless you're a salad.
Nice. Well, every director sees that. And, people say nice things and bad things about every director in town.
Yeah.
It's nothing new. And I have people who want to do a certain show who haven't worked with me, and they come in with preconceived notions, and I can see it right off the bat.
Right.
You just have to kind of show them, what you're doing and what's going on. It's not necessarily about winning them over, but it's about seeing if they're going to eventually trust you, or if they're just going to keep saying, well, I don't know about that. But there is some of that.
And just to kind of tie it into Joseph, I stand, like I said earlier, I'm the biggest cheerleader for the show. I know it's not going to appeal to everybody, but I'll tell you right now, it appealed to me so much. And I like to think, in some degree, I like to go crazy with some concepts and design and stuff when I direct. But I also believe in the story. I'm kind of a purist that way. If it's a story worth telling, we'll tell it. You know, and so I'm kind of a purist in that way, and I love this production. I think it's nothing but a wonderful story put to a great concept, delivered by a bunch of really, really, really good people.
Yes.
And everybody in the cast, there is not a single person in that cast that I wouldn't,
we're all having
trust.
fun.
That's so obvious.
It's such a family. I'm like so excited for this cast because every time we turn around, I just feel like the brothers are all brothers and we're all connected. And I love our cast.
And this is unique because there was very few in the cast that I knew.
Same here.
Me
coming
too.
in.
Me too.
And they're all pretty young too,
Yeah.
right?
Well, there's something about unbridled energy. You know,
Definitely.
we're putting on a show.
feed on that.
There's something to be said about that. I'm sorry. I mean, who doesn't love doing a show? I mean, some people use theater for whatever.
I love when the brothers jump
Oh, yeah.
from the behind, like, whoa, here they come. It's so exciting.
Wow, 3D!
They have mohawks.
Just in 3D.
I just got brother funny.
That's awesome.
Splatter zone.
Can you guys hear the audience? I'm curious, because I could not stop screaming. I left very hoarse.
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
Can you hear it?
yeah, I can.
I especially can hear everybody.
Well,
I know.
Eric
Oh,
comes
yeah.
out
Eric
specifically
does
to
more,
hear them. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I have lots of fun with this role. It's really good, and I want to tell you, I do feel very, very empowered. I feel like a rock star, and it's like how many times. That's why I love theater. You can be a fireman, a doctor, a rock star, and
An Oompa Loompa.
an Oompa Loompa for crying out loud.
Police chief, Indian.
Everybody
any
always
of the
asks.
village people.
I've been a thing too.
The number one thing, when I say I'm a teacher, people always go, "Ooh, what do you teach?" And I was like, "High school." And they're like, "Ooh, you teach high school? Ooh, I could never do that." And I was like, "I teach high school drama. I get to play make-believe with a bunch of kids who really want to play make-believe, too, every day." Wow, I mean,
That's
just...
gotta be the coolest job ever. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I do that with babies though, and they're way cuter to me.
I don't know. You gotta
Yes,
clean up their
but
poo.
yeah.
Yeah, but babies, they can't recite Shakespeare. It's terrible.
Neither can high school students.
That's arguable. That's arguable. Kelly's shaking her head because she played Juliet, so we're just... she's like, no. She's like, I beg to differ.
Big smile.
Let's hear a little bit of it. Go on.
That was like 2 years ago. Oh my gosh.
Just like that. Just like that.
Just like
Romeo
that?
and Juliet was very modernized too, much like not
Yeah.
much like Joseph, but in the modern way, not rock.
Yeah, my wife directed that, and she really kind of made it. She wanted it to be timeless, meaning it wasn't necessarily set in like today's age or whatever. But she also wanted to contemporize it so it was approachable. She wanted it to be. Come on in. She wanted it to be something that audiences could relate to, like the high school demographic could relate to.
Yes.
So, Jonathan is here. Jonathan Tuala's here.
Yay!
Hi, everybody.
And we knew he was going to be coming a little late.
Hey, you didn't hear them, but everybody just said hi right back to him.
Jonathan Tuala plays Joseph in Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And if you're going to tune in to our YouTube page and watch this broadcast on our YouTube page, we videotape every broadcast, and you can watch all the archived footage on our YouTube page. Just search Curtain Call with Erik Well. You will know it's Joseph because of his Technicolor hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there it is. And we kind of got a little off topic. We were talking about Marvin Hamlish and how he died this last week.
I was actually listening on the way over. And
Oh.
I still want to contribute because Chorus Line is actually one of my favorite.
There's
musicals
something
of all
magical
time.
about this show.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All the songs in that are just amazing. Just from
Yeah.
where you were talking about from the very beginning. God, I hope I get it.
Yeah.
And honestly, my favorite song in that is Hello 12, Hello 13, Hello
Yeah.
Love. That whole huge medley.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like a parade of 3 stories, kind
Yes,
of.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Just the struggles that everybody has while going through puberty and everything like that. I think it's just so perfect the way they put everybody's experiences into like this huge 5, 6, 7 minute song.
If you can't identify with at least one story in that show, then you're not a theater person.
Oh,
That's all there is to it.
Uh-huh.
That's all there is to it. Even the director, I mean, for crying out loud.
Mm-hmm.
But no, you know something. This is the first time we've had you on the show to actually talk about Joseph. I do want to backpedal just a little bit so I can kind of pick your brain as far as now. For one, there's its own challenges being a title character in a show. and one that's a very recognized show. If we were doing Matilda in the Amazing Technicolor Garden, that'd be different because nobody knows it. But if we were doing Joseph...
No, but I'm going to write it now. I'm copywriting that idea right now.
Everybody's at least knows about Joseph the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. So it's kind of like doing Hamlet or The Beast and Beauty and the Beast or something. It's a very iconic role. And kind of spearheading that with knowing that we're having a very different concept here. How has it been for you? I mean, did you find yourself like torn or challenged or my gosh? I mean,
oh my gosh,
scared.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, by far, absolutely. Actually, believe it or not, Joseph was actually one of the very first professional productions that I ever saw. I kind of got into theater kind of late in my life. I didn't really get into it until junior, senior year of high school.
Oh, that's so late.
Well,
same with me, junior year.
Well,
I was like almost 30.
Well, relatively late. But I lived in Chicago at the time, and I got to see the Donny Osmond production of it in the 90s. And oh my gosh, I was just blown away by that production. So much color, so much energy, so much incredible music, so I just never thought that, one day I'd be able to do this kind of thing. But it was really one of the initial things that drew me into theater. Just to be able to say, I can do this.
Did you know what the production was going to be when you came to the auditions?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I have to confess that rock, that kind of rock and roll style of music is not something that I usually listen to. Of course, I typically listen to show tunes.
Right.
And being
well, you said rock and roll, but it's like rock metal.
Yeah,
right?
it's
more
like
metal.
rock metal.
That's
Yeah,
like metal.
But
goth. I mean, it's like screamo.
It's not like guys. I don't.
I would call it classic rock.
Classic rock.
Classic
Okay.
Yeah, because when you think
Joseph and
Joseph and
it's like the Cookie Monster.
and black. Oh, Joseph.
That would be the goth version. and black.
Wow. And death.
This is the thing. I'm going to challenge it. Now, here, I'm not going to assume that Donny Osmond's sitting in his dressing room listening to Curtain Call.
Not now.
I bet he is.
Not now.
1400 a.m. But I am going to say he's in town.
yes,
He is in town. And Robert Torti, and a lot of you don't know who he is, Robert Torti plays Paul in the, unfortunately, ill-fated Surf the Musical right now. And he played the original Pharaoh in the stage and the Donny Osmond film version. He is in Surf the Musical. So Donny Osmond and Robert Torti, if you know any of them, if you come to Joseph, we were going to hook you up like kings. We'll get you front row seats, we'll get you tickets, we'll get you a
I'll buy you a hot dog.
I'll buy you a hot dog. We would love for
hot
you
dogs.
and your family to see this show because having such an intimate relationship with the production on a professional level, we would love for you to see what Terrence has done with this particular version because I think it's very inventive and very creative and just a lot of fun.
And despite what some people think, it still holds true to the story.
Oh, absolutely.
The story.
Nothing's been changed in that regard.
No, and regardless of people's opinions, that's. What's important is that the story is still being told, and it's just a different, more modern way of telling the story, which some people, I guess, don't get. But
so I'm going to say, if you work with these two people, Donny Osmond and Robert Torti,
or if you are,
or if you are them, I hope you're listening, and I appreciate your work.
Here's my number, 221-SAVE.
No, but get out there and see it. We get people from the Vegas professional scene out at Super Summer all the time because it's kind of like the DMV in that regard. It's a melting pot. Everybody comes out and enjoys a good piece of theater.
Wasn't Penn Jillette?
Yeah, Penn Jillette was out there the other night in the front row.
Yeah.
It was great, That was awesome. Teller was there, but we couldn't hear him scream.
That's true. We've been getting a lot of people from out of state too.
Yeah.
So that's always a good sign when you have people coming in from California and Utah to see, what would essentially be a community theater production in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Always good.
Always good. Yeah, poor Surf the Musical.
I thought it was already done.
I don't know if it's already done.
They
It's
give
going
a
to be
2-week
done.
notice this week. So,
So we feel very badly about that, but you know, all I gotta say is Las Vegas is a transitional, very fickle business central. I mean that's why we explode our hotels and build new ones every other year. You know, just because we like change.
Should they knock down the City Center Tower, the one?
no.
Not yet.
Not yet.
As far as I know.
The Harmon.
Yeah.
And then speaking of new and upcoming works in the city, and we're hoping this lasts a long time, is Summer Camp the Musical just opened this weekend, 2 days ago, right?
Opened what, Friday?
Friday.
With a full. It's not a splash zone, but it is certainly a bodily fluid zone.
I know. Oh, good Lord, I don't know what that's all about. Dear Lord, I was still reeling from the Evil Dead blood splash zone or whatever, and we got to talk about what other kind of zones can we have.
You should definitely have just left that as splash zone.
Just leave it alone.
It's just splashing.
Yeah, but Surf the Musical. Now this is happening over at the
Planet Hollywood.
Yep. And Troy Hurd and Ange.
But no, at the Onyx is where Surf the Musical is at Planet Hollywood.
Surf the Musical is.
That
at
has
Planet
nothing to do with Troy Hurd or Angela
nothing
Chan.
to do with it.
No. Okay.
And, we're talking.
Just double checking because I was pretty sure Surf had to do with the Beach Boys.
No. We're talking about Summer Camp the Musical is at the Onyx Theater.
Yes. And Surf has a bodily fluid splash zone.
No, Summer Camp.
I know.
You were terrible.
I just like watching Eric's face.
Everybody is confused, and I'm the gauge.
Let's read the email.
Okay. Dear Lord. But go over to the Onyx and support these people. It's an original musical written by Troy Hurd and Angela Chan.
You can actually go there right now. They have an 8 p.m. show tonight.
8 p.m. show tonight, and it's running for the next week, is it?
That I'm not positive. You can go look at onyxtheater.com, Table 8 Productions website. You can call Troy right now.
Would you like his son?
No, I have Troy's number. But it's gotten a lot of people I know have gone to see it, and they're like, "Yeah, it's exactly what you expect it to be."
What it is, it takes place in the '80s, and it's a kind of a tribute. For lack of better words,
homage.
Of all of the screwball, goofball kind of body,
Porky's, Revenge of the Nerds,
comedies.
Meatballs, Revenge of the Nerds 2, Porky's 3, Meatballs 2.
Meatballs 2.
Ernest Goes to Camp.
Yeah. But it takes kind of all those stereotypical characters, those stock characters from those types of body,
so
screwball
when you say
comedies.
like the jock, the nerd,
The jock, the nerd, the
cheerleader,
older kind of mean counselor, the kind of
Doesn't
hippie.
play that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, if you're going to say Anita played that, it's not older. The very attractive and much younger counselor then, because I don't want her to.
Oh no, she's just awesome with characters like that. I want to see her play that.
No, and I'm just saying it's a great cast. People that we've all worked with are in the cast, and they're kind of bringing to the stage this original show. And anytime there's an original work out there, I'm a huge fan of go and support it because, who knows what's going to happen with it. I mean, who would have known that other things are finding legs in the city as well. So make your own judgment on the show. So far, people are saying that it's great. People that have come to see Joseph are saying it's great. So we got lots to see in the city. If you went and saw Joseph last weekend, go and see Summer Camp. If you've seen Summer Camp last weekend, go and see Joseph.
And if you've seen both, Carrie Ann is in a show coming up.
I am, yes. Hair is coming up. We're going to have 2 performances on September 7th, and it's going to be awesome. Down at First Friday.
Both on the 7th?
Yeah, it's down at First Friday.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, that's Ragtag Productions. They're doing Hair in association with, I think, the city. They're doing something in collaboration with the city, and it's going to be presented at First Friday. Hair.
I'm curious. How are you guys doing the naked scenes?
We're not going to be naked because it's a public setting. We can't be. I know, right?
You could be, but it would be a very
that
short
would be a
production.
First at First
Shut
Friday.
up the camera, Kelly. Let's do it right now.
Will you still have that free hugs sign?
We're going to have all kinds of signs.
That was a so not funny comment turned into something really funny. I love that.
We all get to make our own signs. signs. It's going to be like protests. We get to interact with the
Can you make a
crowds
sign that
before
says
Friday.
long-haired freaky people need not apply?
Well, that's
Well, no,
before.
That's a reference to the song Signs. Don't you love it how I'm killing? I am killing every moment tonight.
You are the emergency brake.
I am like anti-segue to
But now, okay, so I'm kind of getting into my tribe character now. I'm not wearing makeup tonight. I'm trying to let my hair be natural and long.
You don't
and
need
go
to
for
wear
it.
makeup.
Oh, Glenn.
Zoom in on that.
Thank you. Don't you zoom in, Kelly. Don't you do that.
She's gonna zoom in because she's
But
not within striking
now,
range.
when it comes to hair, the actual hair, like this hair is fine. This hair, I don't do that.
Are you growing it?
I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I get
think-
into it? And
I don't know. Would you get into it? Would Gia get into it?
No.
I'm not wearing my mustache right now. I don't know that it's necessary.
I think theater's theater for a reason.
Wait, your show is closed by then. Maybe I can just borrow your.
I was going to say, just get some spirit gum and a merkin or two and pop them under
an
the
armpit.
Really low cut.
Wait, zoom in on that.
Yeah. Wow.
But like, how into your characters do you get?
Not that much.
No.
I don't get into my character at all.
Yeah, right. Are you also wearing aqua eyeliner?
Actually, no. It's all black, but it
That
just
would be
fades to
guy liner.
Thank you.
And mascara.
Yeah, I don't know. I've known people who had to like run on stage like they were running from someplace, and they'd stand backstage and just run in place before they come on, and I'm sitting there going, really, you can't act like you're tired? And you're,
Can't use a little spritz bottle behind.
Yeah, it's kind of like there's a certain. I think there's a line where. I don't know. It depends. It depends on how fierce you need to.
Well, when we were doing Willy Wonka, and my character of the interviewer, Phineas Trout, had 4 different characters.
Yeah.
In the wings, I was sitting, before the Violet Beauregard interview, I was like, howdy, 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 howdy,
yeah.
howdy, and get into that.
But that's like a
character.
tongue twister. That's like a warm up. I think.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
Like I do this strange thing, and all the kids always look at me funny. Okay. Like I'll give you an instance. When I'm on stage for Pharaoh, and I go off stage, I have to go downstairs to change into my Jacob costume. So, and if anybody's been at the ranch or performed at the ranch, they know that stairway, depending on the set, there is a sight line, and you can see a few audience members.
Yes.
From
where I sit.
If you're really looking, and God knows the audience members aren't sitting there going, I'm going to wait until I can see somebody in that stairwell. They're probably not looking. But I have this weird thing that I don't want anybody to catch me out of character.
Do you tuck under your
No.
when you come under the stairwell?
No, because I don't have that there.
Okay.
Instead, I'm Pharaoh. I'm like, whoa, the whole way down until I get to the bottom of the stairs. And sometimes I run into a kid coming up, and they're just like, okay, you weirdo. But I don't want that 1 or 2 people to see me and go.
See, part of me is like, if I'm in a production where they're watching the stairwell,
Yep.
there's a bigger problem.
And can I tell you something? Call it paranoia.
Maybe
it's just paranoia.
No, but
I would call that detail oriented. It's good.
you're doing what you tell your students. You're in character from the moment you're on the stage.
Yeah.
So you come up those stairs. As soon as you hit the top of the stairs, you should be in character. And with this production, we're kind of given the the go ahead that you're roadies in the show, that you're part of the show. So being seen is really not that big of a deal.
And like I said, everybody has their own personal process. Mine is so. Jonathan and Glenn both know because we share a dressing room. So detail oriented, it's ridiculous. Like how I get it. So maybe it's just a little bit of over enthusiastic paranoia. Perhaps, I don't know.
No, you know what? I admire it because I like working with individuals that have respect for the craft to where they are putting themselves into it. So growing your armpit hair out, go for it if you can. It's dedication to a character.
I like your braid. You could put braids in it. You could put little bells and jingles.
So you know I'm coming.
Yeah, it'd be like, ooh, the ice cream man. Oh no, it's just Carrie Ann's armpit hair.
Those are too far too. In terms of method acting, though.
Like right there.
I'm not talking about.
I was just going to jump right in there.
I love the dead
In
silence.
terms of the method acting, like a lot of the actors in this town feel like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. So you're telling me that when your character gets shot, you need to somehow rehearse that. How? By being tased? By being shot with a gun? I mean, what is it too far?
No, but everyone has their process of what do I need to do to make this truthful, believable.
Because there's technique.
If you have to go so far as to tase me, bro, to actually have the ability to act it, you probably shouldn't be on stage.
That's my point.
That's a good. That's a very good point.
Clearly can't summon those things.
So what you're saying is Erik shouldn't be on stage.
Yeah, more or less.
I knew it was coming.
Not at all.
But then there's
Not
like
at all.
things that are technically like I have all these rings on. I have to go in my pocket to get some Sharpie markers out at one point. I don't want to get
draw on your
tied up
tattoos?
in that moment. So I make sure that the pens are hooked on my.
Sure.
Now that's a detail-oriented thing. Some may think it's too detail-oriented. I think it's just.
What do you need Sharpie markers? Oh,
To give
okay.
autographs.
Okay, I was like,
So it's